Is he gonna be okay?
Just need to take a 5-minute rest.
Is he gonna be okay?
Come on, Mzungu. Evan, are you okay?
All right, let's pass him up.
I just need 5 minutes.
Okay, very good. Come on up.
If you could just shade me.
Yeah.
Just a little shade.
You know, if you're gonna lay down with your head uphill so you don't die.
That's the thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Good tip.
All right, what's happening, folks? I am in Kenya. This is Mount Longgonot. It's an inactive volcano, and today I'm doing a hike. We got a whole bunch of people that are with me. They are folks like you that were on the other side of the YouTube screen and decided to join us on a warrior poet trip. We're gonna do more and more of these. Anyway, to the thrust of the video, we're gonna talk about 5 hiking tips that I wanted to give to you guys. Before we get going though, you'll notice I'm just kind of carrying a nothing pack right here, and that's because we have different demographics with us, and some folks who are a little older and didn't bring as much, or they brought a pack and they overestimated what they're able to do at a high altitude and doing a 13-mile round trip walk. I imagined, well, if I carry a pack, I'm not able to help anyone else, but I wanted something small that I would be able to put in someone else's pack if they were sucking and I could throw that in. So you're like, where's your backpack? I'm like, I think I'm gonna be carrying other people's backpack or other people, like Evan. There's Evan. See Evan? And I'm probably gonna have to carry Evan. Evan,
water bottle.
We are 0.01 miles into our walk, and Evan has already broken his only thing he brought.
So John, as you can see, has trailblazed well far ahead while we're sucking wind, while I'm sucking wind. Gabrielle will carry me if it gets too strenuous. John's got some tips. We're gonna do some tips up here. I was just trying to stay pace with Gabrielle.
Gabrielle came back for you.
His name is angelic, like the
Gabrielle came back
the
for
angel
you.
Gabriel.
Gabrielle and I have been on a casual stroll. Tip number 1, I like to go ahead and get my legs warmed up,
Hydrate?
and then you do a stretch. Hydration, yeah, that's good. But
hydrate
that's
would
not
be-
my tip. If
Okay.
you want to do your own video, go do it over there. But I'd say you got to stretch. It's not just about making your muscles feel good as you're using them more and more. It's about protecting your joints. You think of your legs, your feet as well. Those are your wheels. And if you get a few miles out and your vehicle breaks down, to continue the metaphor, poets.
Yeah. I like that.
You're screwed. And so I like to go ahead and get a mile or 2 in, my legs heat up, and then you stop and you do a good stretch. Evan's gonna demonstrate some stretches. The first one is, let's go ahead and take your left foot and put it in your right hand.
Okay.
Behind you.
All right.
Boom. Nope, other hand. There we go. That's better on your knees. And you go ahead and steady yourself and you give a good stretch like that. Hold it, don't bounce, hold it, and you'll switch that up. So that's one. Make sure those are, whatever's hurting, that's what you need to stretch out. If your butt and hamstrings will be next, and it's just basically bend down and touch your toes, go ahead and do that, Evan.
You want me to do like a crow pose or something?
Yep, right there. Fantastic. And you'll do a bunch of that and hold it. Next thing, let's warm up our knees. So let's go ahead and put your feet together.
This is a lot.
Nope, feet together, hands on your knees. And then I want you to rotate your knees around in a 360.
This isn't a real thing.
That's a real thing, and that's to make sure your knees don't get injured, make sure you warm those up. This one doesn't really feel like it's doing anything, but it is. Next one, we'll do our ankles as well. We'll do them one at a time, so let's go ahead and put one foot back, put your toe on the earth. Nope, toe in the earth, and we're just gonna rotate it around in circles. Counterclockwise and clockwise. Go ahead and stand up normal.
Oh.
It's all just ankle, right there. Right there, all the way around. Yep, one way, and then back the other. Is fantastic. We'll also do our calves just by doing one of these things right here, and stretching out, and you can go down as well if you want to. Make sure you stretch. It's going to prevent injury. It's also going to get your muscles to last longer. So we'll walk a little bit and then stretch. Your feet or your wheels as well. Make sure you're wearing really comfortable socks. Make sure good shoes, broken in feet, so you got them all calloused up. You walked a lot, but if your feet start sucking, that's a really bad thing. If you start feeling any friction and they're really heating up, I'd loosen your laces just a little bit. Make sure they don't heat up too much. Heat is your enemy, because if your feet get hot, you start getting blisters. That starts some really, really bad stuff. So make sure you take care of your feet. All right, let's keep on going. All right, guys, second tip, and I'm excited to get into actual some walking technique, which sounds really infantilizing, and I don't mean it like that. It's just, it helps, and you'll see. But I wanted Gabrielle to help us out by talking about how we do the pack stuff, and so you'll demo. How long have you been leading trips up this mountain?
12 years now.
12 years?
And 4 times maybe a week.
So he's got his hydration, and he's helping our camera crew by carrying all kinds of big batteries around and extra equipment, and so, I mean, you can load down, you can carry a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
I like this. More than this.
This is a peanut to me.
So if it's a peanut, he's not really wearing it like he would if it was really heavy down. What would you do first thing if it was really heavy?
I would back out this one.
Okay.
And this one here.
Very good.
I got this, but my hydration bag is wider. But I always do this when it's heavier than this. I have to back out this one.
Yeah.
And this one as well.
Great.
To feel comfortable when carrying it. Yeah.
Great. Different packs. Sometimes you get what you pay for. If you get a bigger pack with what's called a kidney pad, some of those are way, way better. This is a bit more thin, but what you want to do is I have 3 steps for it. The very first thing is I take that kidney strap and I come across and buckle, and you'll want it way high up. So really the weight of the pack is up here, high up on the hip flexor. So you want it actually higher up than where you'd wear a belt. Then you tighten that down and think of the whole pack is really carried here where you want that kidney strap. That's step 1. Step 2 is now to tighten down this on the sides, and also some of these packs will have other tightening straps right here. That'll be the next thing, is you tighten those down and it pulls all the weight up over the top, and that's a really good thing. But that'll be part of step 2. And then step 3, the last one, will be this, and you want it tight enough so it's really just taking your shoulder straps and pulling them together. You don't want to constrict it so much that it makes it hard to breathe, and so getting those pressures right is going to allow you to carry a lot more farther. The last thing I'll say on packs is make sure, can you go ahead and turn sideways, just look that way? You'll notice he's got a water bottle here in the side, and that's great. What you'd never want to do is have something where it was just dangling and swinging as you walked. Swinging stuff on packs is really awful. It doesn't feel that heavy, but as you start turning around stuff and that weight continues to swing over the miles, it's going to really smoke you, and so that's real bad. Make sure everything is tight in and no swinging parts, and it's also evenly distributed, and the higher up you can get it, the better. That's how you wear a pack. Got it? You don't just throw stuff in. You want the heaviest stuff right up here at the top. Cool. All right, guys, third tip is inspired by a movie with Bill Murray called What About Bob? Bob was a psychiatric patient, and he was having difficulty overcoming his fear, and the doctor said, baby steps onto the elevator, and so you could just kind of warm up into this. This hiking tip seems a little counterintuitive, but what I want you to do is baby step up the mountain. When you take big steps, you end up like Evan right here, and Evan has passed out. He's been taking too big of steps. All right, so we're going to baby step up the mountain. I want to use my biggest muscle group to be able to do the least amount of work and still cover ground. So I'm going to be going a little bit slower, but it's going to be nice, slow, and steady. So what I'm basically going to do, take very tiny steps so that my leg barely bends at all, and then instead of thinking about pressing up, I think about taking my knee and pushing it back. So it's kind of like a robot. Up, 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 up. Tiny steps, tiny steps, tiny steps. One big step over the out of shape guy. Tiny steps, and then you go straight up. Also, something goofy that I'm doing is I'm not putting my foot down right here and using my calf, because it's one more muscle that I don't need. And also, as I keep my foot completely flat, which is counterintuitive, it's only really activating my bigger muscle groups, not my I'm not climbing with my calves, I'm climbing with my bigger muscle groups, and it's not a big motion. So a continuation of step 3 is, let's say I needed to go up this thing, and it could be anything. Now, some would be tempted to leap up when you're fresh and feeling good. I'm like, nope. Endurance, make sure you're pacing yourself. And so what I don't want to do is some big jump and then come up, nor do I want to be able to take a big step and do one of these things. That's where all your energy goes. So whenever you can plot a baby step course around something, you do it. Instead, I'm going to baby step up this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, baby step. And you're like, don't use one big step when you could take 10 little steps. And that's the way that you can keep your endurance and keep your strength so that you can go many, many miles up. That's done. We'll see him laid out on the ground in about 50 yards. Tip 3, part B. Sometimes the terrain is just so straight up, you can't get away with baby stepping. So if that was the case, there's another little cheat I can do. I'm basically going to take 2 hands and put them on top of my knee and use my upper body to help push me. And this will relieve a lot of strain on my legs, which are carrying all the weight. So I push here, and now what I'll do is I'll put my weight right over that leg. I'll put my weight right over the leg, and I'll push up, push up, push up. And so now my legs are working with my upper body, so I'm not killing myself on all this. It's a nice thing. There's other times where you can use something to help you pull up a little bit, and that's just your upper body, which has been along for the ride, needs to contribute to the hike. And so I can grab up right here, and I see a nice little baby step here and swing over around it. And so I'll do that baby step, swing, baby step, baby step, baby step. Baby steps up the mountain.
All right, let me ask you.
Seems silly, but this is a really good way to save your strength and go a long way without much pain.
Check this out.
Not bad, bro.
Not bad.
The view's only gonna get better.
Bro, this is why we get out.
All right, guys, step 4. Let's say you're getting gassed, worn out, hard to breathe. Well, first thing I'd do is I'd make sure nothing was on my head. Anything that was tight, go ahead and loosen it up. And then I want you to always look upward when you walk. This is going to open your airway. That's a really big deal. And your natural tendency, even after I say that, you're like, all right, look up. And you take some breaths. And you're like, oh, that's nice. And 20, 30 seconds later, you're back looking down. Especially if you're trailing anybody else up a mountain, the tendency to look at their feet is almost irresistible. So the best thing you could do is spread out, get an interval, and don't go nut to butt going up a mountain, right? This is particularly good shout out to military guys because that's a breach in military security, as if you walk too close, any enemy can get 2 for the price of 1, so you make sure you spread out, keep your interval. There's another thing about this, an added bonus. If you're looking up, you're able to scan, so particularly if you're in a military context, but it also could just be general safety for hikers, that you're not just walking up on a mama bear with her cubs or something. You'd be able to look up. And I play a game, I want to be able to see everything before anyone else in my group does. If someone's up higher, I always see them before they see me. And I'm scanning. Now, if you needed to look down to see terrain, the ideal way is even while I'm walking, if I need to look down, my eyes move, but my head stays up. And so generally, I want that as much as I can. You walk different when you're gassed, so make sure you're pacing yourself, breathe. I can also get into a rhythm while I'm breathing, and this helps remind me to breathe. I basically take one big inhale when I take a step and a second big inhale. So I have a little bit of a rhythm. I do this also when I'm jogging and I start getting out of breath. I'll go and so every third step is a big exhale and every first and second step is a big inhale. So it goes and I know that sounds weird as well, but it works and it keeps your muscles oxygenated so they don't get gassed too early. Man, this is gold. That's tip 4. Let's get to the top of this and then we'll talk you how to go down. And we got a crater up here, so pretty cool stuff.
All right, we're here on Mount Longgonot. I've been following John up and he seems to have taken a lead on us. Obviously, this is the only way up. This is sheer face, so we're gonna have to move carefully, and you're gonna wanna find these little handholds. Get your fingers really deep in there. There's no other way up. You're gonna have to really use your strength. We were climbing the other day. Oh,
Let's go, bro. You got it. Don't be a drama
Gotta
queen.
do the knee thing.
That's not a place to do the knee thing.
We did it. Yes.
Not the top, bro. Look, check it out.
We did it.
Terrain is liars. Whatever you're looking up, you got to imagine there's going to be that's where we're
What are
going.
you talking, dude?
Way up top.
What are you talking?
I mean, we're not close.
This isn't the top.
This is not the top.
Damn it.
Ready to move out? You doing all right?
I'm a little leafy. Hold on, let me get this sip.
Let's go.
All right. That's annoying.
You knew this wasn't
Just
the top.
need to take a break.
You need some hydration?
Yeah.
I'll hydrate you. Open up. Head back.
All right.
Head back farther.
Don't waterboard me.
Head back. Oh, my sweet prince. Here we go. Oh,
Be jet out! Hey!
that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, whoops. Well, I'm so sorry. That was a total accident. Oh, let's keep going. Let's go around.
This guy's heavy.
It's too many jelly beans. Evan, you should be ashamed. It's flat ground. It's flat ground. We're like halfway there.
Whoa!
Not bad, bro.
Not bad at all. This is a giant crater that will explode one day again.
All right, guys, your last tip, your fifth one has to do with how you go down, right? I'd be tempted to just take a big step down, but as you take these big steps down, the shock on your muscles will absolutely smoke you, and you have a greater risk, and that's rolling an ankle or blowing out a knee. All of that's really, really bad. So make sure you're doing baby steps down the mountain as well. I don't like big moves, and particularly when you're going on uneven ground. Say you're moving on rocks. What I'm looking for is little back stops where I can go at. So if I was going down here and I saw this little grassy knoll, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to move to this area, and then I have kind of a little bit of a stop, and then I can kind of keep on going down, finding little ledges where I can kind of rest at. So you go from place to place. This is particularly when you've got lots of shale or it's muddy or slippery. I'll go from backstop to backstop in the simplest, easiest way, right? So make sure, really careful that you don't roll an ankle. If you do, it's going to be a really, really bad stuff, particularly if you're a security person. You blow out your wheels, now you're baggage for everyone else, and that super sucks. All right, folks, that's 5 tips, and to close out the video, we're going to lean on our Warrior Poets trip. So guys, take it away.
Make sure to subscribe,
Hit notification bell to all.
comment,
Like, share,
and remember,
train hard.
train smart.
And stay free. You guys killed it. That was great. Yeah.